Okay guys, this video should be a little bit longer. I'm going to try to shorten it as much as I can, try to be efficient. Please be ready to pause it or rewind if necessary. Let's get going. So, on the quiz tomorrow, guys, you will have to calculate volume. Now, I decided to pick some common shapes that some of you struggle with. One is a triangular prism. Notice the triangular shape on each end, right? That's what makes it a triangular prism. Always look for the right angle as well, because that always tells you the base and height of that triangle, right? So in this case, with the right angle there, notice it connects the 4 with this side right here, which is the same thing as the 3. So hopefully you agree that the triangle is a 3 by 4 triangle. So we're going to find the area of that triangle, 1/2 times the base times the height. And then once we know the size of our triangular end, all I need to do is times by this third dimension right here. Notice we're not going to use a 5. That just tells me how long the edge of that triangle is, the hypotenuse of that triangle actually. The depth or third dimension is 10. So once I times this all together, guys, I will have the volume of this triangular prism. So let's see here. 4 times 3 times 10 is 120. And once I do 1/2 of it, which by the way, same thing as dividing by 2, I get 60 centimeters cubed. Don't forget, volume is always three-dimensional. It's cubes. Pause the video if you need to. Now, guys, sometimes you confuse it with the pyramid. Guys, you got to recognize, you agree this is a pyramid, totally different than a triangular prism, right? Look at it carefully. Well, how do we do a pyramid like this? Well, remember, we're going to actually pretend that it's actually a box. Okay, I know I didn't draw it perfectly well there, but how would we find the size of a box or rectangular prism? Don't I just simply take length times width times the height? Times the height. My video got interrupted there, guys. Sorry about that. Now this would be the volume of the box, right? Well, what did we learn about pyramids? Is pyramids are always exactly 1/3 as large. So notice down here, I did the calculations on my calculator. I did 7 times 9 times 8, length times width times height. I got 504. All I need to do now was take 1/3 of that 504, which is what I did here. Dividing by 3 is the same thing as 1/3, right? And so my answer is right here. The volume of the pyramid is 168 centimeters cubed. Please remember, guys, pyramids are always 1/3 of their equivalent prism. Okay, in this case, a box. They're always 1/3 the size. Okay, pause the video if you need to. Okay, now guys, this is a cylinder, right? Well, doesn't what defines the cylinder the circular ends? We have circular ends here, right? And notice, don't be tricked. They gave us the diameter, so we need actually the radius of 6. Right? So if they give you the diameter, which they always won't, they'll just do it sometimes. Don't be tricked. Just cut it in half. So does everyone agree the area of a circle is simply pi times the radius squared? And then once I know the size of that circle, all I need to do again is times by its third dimension here, or thickness, which is 4. That right there, guys, is going to give me the volume of that cylinder. Again, what did I do? I took the area of the circle, and then I times it by its height or length or third dimension. And if you look down here, I have it calculated for us. Pi times 6 squared is 113.09. All I need to do is times it by the 4. Here is my answer. 452.4. Guys, give me at least one decimal place, please. And that's going to be meters cubed. Don't forget, volume is always cubic. All right, so pause the video if you need to. As you can see here, guys, we got a cone this time. Sorry it's a little warped. I took the picture at an angle there. But hopefully you recognize an ice cream cone when you see one. So what are we going to do, guys? Just like we did with the pyramid, we're going to pretend it's a cylinder, right? And once we find the size of that cylinder, a cone is always exactly 1/3 as big. So let's see if this makes sense. I'm going to take pi times the radius squared. Notice this time they gave us the radius. Don't be cutting it in half and make it 1.5 because they actually gave us the radius here, not the diameter. So we have pi r squared. That would be the size of the circle again, right? All we need to do is times it by its third dimension this way, which is 7. The length or height or third dimension, as I like to refer to it, is 7. So this is going to give me my cylinder. And then all I have to remember to do, guys, is take 1/3 of this. So if you look down here, you'll notice I did pi times r squared times the 7, 3 squared times 7. So this would be the volume of the cylinder. And then I needed to do 1/3 of that 197.92. And I did it by dividing by 3. So my final result is 65.97. Again, give me at least one, in this case 2 decimal places, guys. Don't just round that off to 66. I'll be very upset. Let's have at least some precision in our answers. And this is centimeters cubed. Volume is always cubes. Pause the video if you need to. Finally, guys, let's make sure we can do the sphere or the ball, as we like to call it. Notice, guys, they gave us the diameter right here, didn't they? So don't forget to cut it in half. If they give you a diameter, cut it in half. We need the radius. And we should know the volume of a cylinder is a formula we're going to memorize. 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. And you can see I did all my calculations down here. 4/3 times pi times the radius, which was 7 cubed. Here is my answer, 1436.8. If we round off a little bit, again, give me at least one decimal place, meters cubed. And all I had, if you notice underneath here, guys, is I just times it out old school like in elementary. 7 cubed, for example, is 7 times 7 times 7 times pi times 4 divided by 3. And as you can see, I get exactly the same answer. Sorry, I accidentally pressed the forward button there. But guys, hopefully if you review this, you're going to do very well. You got to know how to do your spheres, cones, cylinders, pyramids, and triangular prisms. And those are the harder ones, of course. And you should be ready for this quiz tomorrow. See you in class.